course, our non-profit of the game. To get involved with the Hunger Task Force, visit any one of our representatives in the concourse or visit them online.
And so we are just about set to go here from downtown Milwaukee, the UWMP Arena, home of the Milwaukee Wave, as they host the Tacoma Stars. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. You see the Wave huddling there in their electric yellow, neon yellow, and black uniforms. Stars will be dressed in the navy blue with the combination yellow-red Tacoma colors. The legacy colors of the great Tacoma Stars aren't the first time since the Tacoma Stars have been a bean that they've ever played in Milwaukee tonight.
Well, I would be assuming the people up in the northwest there, the Seattle-Tacoma area, are hoping for a little better result than they saw this afternoon in the MLS final. Their Sounders dropping the championship game to Toronto today, 2-0.
Not only Toronto, but I believe the entire Canadian
yes.
soccer nation was looking to avenge last year's setback.
Well, I don't know if you saw the two anthems that were played before the game, Tom, but the Canadian anthem, which you know very well, the crowd sang it. The woman let the crowd basically take the anthem, and I kind of knew right then that it was not going to be a good night for Seattle.
Things were looking good for the Sounders. All right, underway here from Milwaukee. Stars moving it right to left as we look at the action. We got a foul right off the bat against the Wave, as you see our Wisconsin Vision instant replay. I believe that's Daniel Matos getting called for pushing off. So a good restart chance for the Stars right away as Corey Keats tried to slide it off the board in the middle. It was cleared out by the Wave.
Good play they ran there. Joe Reiniger used to love to run that play from close in, just angled off to the side of the goalie. They'd play the ball off the boards, and they had a great chance there in front.
Vega breaks it up for the Wave momentarily, but the Stars are going to reload. Back for their goalkeeper, Danny Waltman, the 14th year veteran. Seattle native, played his college soccer at the University of Washington. His third season with the Stars, he has played every game the Stars have played since returning to Tacoma prior to the start of the 2015-16 season. We talked about how the Stars as a team have not played here before, but several of the players in the lineup have certainly played here before, including Waltman, many, many times at the arena. There's a shot, top of the arc, shot in the goal, and the Stars are on the board 56 seconds into the first period. They lead it 1-0.
Raphael Cox there, number 7, the lefty, comes through unmarked right through the center of the box. And that's the second ball. Tacoma has gone off the back wall. You see Cox right there at the top of the arc. This team, Tacoma, Tom, is very quick, very athletic. The Wave's going to need to have to move their feet defensively tonight, or they're going to give up a lot of goals.
So Raphael Cox, who had a goal last night in Kansas City, he had one. His brother Jamail had a pair. And for Raphael, the third-year indoor pro, also played at the University of Washington. His second goal of the year. He also has 2 assists. Speaking of assists, we'll try to see if we can find out who the helper was in that play. Here's Robert Renault for the Wave. Had the game winner last night in St. Louis. Shot save Waltman as he turned it away far corner. And now deflects back into the hands of Waltman. The right-hander comes up throwing. Looking on the near wing, that's Jamail Cox, brother of the aforementioned Raphael, who scored the opening goal. Cox brothers, Tacoma area natives, both attended Stadium High School in Tacoma, Art. And if you're a sports fan, I can't think of a better name for a school. Where you go to school, man? Yeah. Down at the stadium. You gotta like that.
Saw Raphael with the left-footed strike there to get Tacoma on the boards. Last night, his brother Jamil hit a bombosa from way beyond the yellow line.
Transition goal, and caught Casey Gasson, the goalkeeper of Kansas City, out of the net. Although Herrero Pino, one of his teammates, was able to get back and got a piece of it on his head, but could not deflect it away from the goal. But a great goal by Jameel Cox, one of two that he had last night. His second one was pretty impressive as well. Here's Max Ferdinand, one half of the IMAX tandem, lays it off the wing, off the mark, rebound, follow, Tenzin Rampa, and the shot is cleared away. The Waves IMAX tandem, of course, is Ian Bennett and Max Ferdinand, and then if you turn it into the RIMAX trio, you add Robert Renault onto that line.
Talked in the opening about Danny Waltman, and already you've seen him with 2 good kick saves here to start the game. We've seen Danny Waltman come into this building many times and play out of his mind.
Josh Lemos pushing forward. Remember, Josh had the opening goal for the Wave last night in St. Louis in their 4-3 victory. And as we've seen, he is not afraid to come up and take some shots. Very confident ball handler, the second-year pro out of Quebec. League's leader in wins with 6, just like the Wave at 6-0. Andre Hain lays it off. Matos coming through, shot, and turned aside Waltman. Not sure if that was on target, but Danny turned it away anyway. Now Hain gets it back. Hain turning shot, just wide.
I was going to say, Tom, there he is again, number 24.
He is warming up in a hurry here in the first period. As Ian Bennett drove one wide, Wave gets it back. Andre coming to the line. The big guy slots it through. Bennett off the wall. Turning shot just wide. So the Stars weathering the storm so far. Santos gets it back for the Wave. Jonathan in his 11th indoor season, 7th with the Wave. First time back since the 13-14 season. Matos steps in to knock it away momentarily. Ruggles on the far side as he is battling up at midfield with Carriel now. Gets it to Renault, coming in, shot, save, Waltman. Renault digs it out, Robert coming in again, and Waltman shuts off the near post.
It's got to be 5 saves already for Danny Waltman in the Tacoma net.
Well, we've seen it before where he single-handedly comes in here and leads his team to victory. Wave hoping that that's not necessarily going to be the case tonight, but early returns for Tacoma looking very strong for Waltman. And the Stars already with the lead. They've got the only goal by Rafael Cox 56 seconds into it.
And don't let the 2-4 record of Tacoma fool you. 2 losses to San Diego, who's undefeated, and 1 loss earlier to the Wave.
Yeah,
probably the toughest schedule so far of any team in the MASL.
Tough early season schedule, no doubt about it, Art. Again, Milwaukee goes left to right here in the first period. Wave 2-0 at home, 4-0 on the road. Crowd still filing in here. Should have a pretty nice crowd here tonight. Rampa tried to nudge it ahead, deflected off, and now goes to Waltman. And a note regarding next Saturday's game, December 16th. Some schedules it's listed as a noon start. That is 7:05, just to confirm. St. Louis Ambush rolling into town this upcoming Saturday, December 16th, and that will be a 7:05 p.m. Central Time start. So please make sure you're aware of that. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE, 414-224-9283. 7:05 sounds a lot better to me, Art, than 12:05 on this side of the table. I got to tell you that much.
12:05, it's just about the time I'm getting up on a Saturday.
Foul called as Tenzin got dumped there. You get a look at the 11-year veteran, native of Madison. Played his college ball at UW Milwaukee.
See the Wisconsin Vision instant replay. The captain of the Wave, Tenzin Rampa.
TR and company, the Milwaukee Wave.
Now, Rampa, you don't call his name a lot during the games, but the job he does defensively, marking some of the best strikers in the MASL.
No doubt about it. And he doesn't score a lot of goals, but when he does, they're usually key goals. Here's Lemos. Lemos tees one up, and Waltman makes a nice save. Andre Hain trying to bicycle for the second time in 2 games, and I believe he's going to get called for a dangerous play as he caught Evan McNeely, and McNeely is not impressed, as you can see them yapping at each other.
Evan McNeely right there just took the full-size 12 boot of Andre Hain. We saw Hain score a bicycle kick last night. probably going to be featured tonight. I heard on SportsCenter as one of the top 10, but that was a dangerous play right there by Andre Hayne.
Well, the big guy is certainly not afraid to go up and do the bike thing. Now Hayne trying to get around Waltman. Play on as Waltman got a little piece of him. Marcio digs it out for the Wave. Marcio still got possession. Lays it off for Dennison. His shot is blocked. Grable will cycle it back out to Viega. Wave has had the bulk of the possession here in the first period, but again, Tacoma with the only goal so far.
Tremendous amount of pressure by the Wave here. And Danny Waltman equal to the task. I'm not sure that wasn't a 2-minute penalty on Waltman against Hayne.
Marcio maneuvers around the defender, but he didn't get much on the shot, and Waltman made the save. And Danny Waltman is earning his money here in the first period for the Tacoma Stars. Now Milwaukee turns it around to get it midfield. Here's Ian Bennett. Bennett coming in. Bennett fires one off the post. Ian, the league's leading goal scorer with 14 points. He is second in the league with 17 points overall. Turloc's Ivan Campos leads the league with 19 points, including a 6-point night last night for the Express. McNeely gets the foul as he takes down his former teammate Ian Bennett. McNeely, now in his 11th indoor season and 7th team, second year with Tacoma, as a long chip gets up and over the goal. McNeely was a member of the Wave back from 2011 through 2013. Timeout on the field as we've reached the midway point here of the first.
Nice item of the game. It's the Wave Striker scarf.
Ooh, absolutely.
You can get this scarf. It's nice. $10 at the team store. Plus, there's tons of other merchandise for the whole family. Check out the brand new improved team store right outside of section 228. Van?
All right, we're back. 6:48 through the rest of the first period. 1-0 Tacoma. Milwaukee with it. They go left to right. Again, Stars with the only goal from Rafael Cox 56 seconds into the period. Wave has had a lot of pressure since then, but Danny Waltman in the Tacoma defense have been able to keep Milwaukee off the board. Matos lays it off. Bennett Matos coming down the middle. Shot blocked by his own teammate, Ruggles.
Matos with an opportunity to shoot first time that time, but passed it up. It might have been a little bit behind him, but it was on his left foot. Been a good time to pull the trigger.
And now Matos taken down, no call as they play on. Yeah, that was kind of a strange one there. And meanwhile, looks like Phil Lund is going to get called for a foul as he whacks Jonathan Santos running by for the ball. Or perhaps is that McCluskey? Let's double check on our Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay. Yeah. That's McCluskey right there, number 14.
McCluskey saying if Andre Hayne can put his foot up high, so can I.
Vince McCluskey, a third-year indoor pro out of the University of Puget Sound.
McCluskey had a goal last night against Kansas City.
Yeah, he's been playing well. In fact, part of the reason he's been getting more playing time is Alex Megson not available. Megson's celebrating the recent birth of a baby, and so he is not with the team on the road trip here. Former Wave player, Alex Megson.
Stars played well last night against Kansas City. They just got off to a really bad start. They gave up 3 goals in the first 3 minutes of the game, but I thought they pretty much outplayed the Comets from that point forward. Got it back to 5-4, and then Leo Gibson took over.
4 assists for Gibson last night. Here's Andre Hain. Frees himself up for a shot, puts it up high. Well, again, the Wave held to just 4 goals last night. Prior to last night, Milwaukee had scored 44 in their first 5 games, so they were averaging almost 9 goals per game. Curiel trying to control that one. It goes out of play. Again, Wave winning 4-3 in overtime last night. Wave still very solid defensively, giving up just 28 goals so far, so 4.5 per game defensively. Meanwhile, Tacoma has scored 31, given up 33 in their 6 games.
What really hurt Tacoma last night, Tom, was the restarts. Kansas City scored 2 restart goals, and then they had a second chance restart goal. Lucas Rodriguez.
There's a shot in. Lemos able to control that one. I'm not sure he saw it real well. Loops one out. Here's Max Ferdinand. Max puts it up near side. Curiel, and another beautiful kick save at the post by Danny Waltman. And Waltman may be off to one of those games tonight.
Well, he is off to one of those games, and that was his best save right there on Ruggles at the near post.
Wave cycles it back out.
Was it Ruggles or Curiel there, Tom?
Thought it was Curiel with the shot, but
what a reaction save, though, by Waltman, sliding from his right to his left.
Now, Marcio trying to hold out. He'll flip it back out to Lemos. Josh again with a lot of time on his attacking half of midfield. Outstanding ball handler aside from being an outstanding shot stopper.
And you want to root against Danny Waltman, Tom, but
Lemos cranks one up, and Waltman able to make the save and then just push it away from Hans Dennison, who commits the foul.
I was just going to hold my thought while Lemos took that shot, but I was going to say you want to root against Waltman, but it's so darn hard. He's such a nice guy, and what a goalkeeper.
Outstanding
Worth the
career.
price of admission, Danny Waltman.
This is one of 4 games tonight on the MASL slate. We've got Syracuse hosting Florida in what looks like a pretty good shootout going so far. 4-4 with 11 minutes left to go in the 3rd period in Syracuse. Also,
is that multiple scoring there?
I believe
multiple
so.
point scoring? 4-4 Syracuse, that is a high score.
Monterey, the undefeated Flash, rolling into Harrisburg tonight to take on the Heat. That's the first of 2. They'll also do it again tomorrow in Harrisburg. And then you've got Cedar Rapids hosting Kansas City tonight in Cedar Rapids. Shot just high as Marcio could not quite tuck it into that top far corner.
Good little combination play that time between Liete and Matos.
Matos gets called for the foul. So the Stars will play it in. Takeaway there. Now Ruggles pushing up. Here comes Drew. Trying to lay it across. Ian Bennett lost his footing with the help of Evan McNeely. Poked it away that time.
I think with the help of a pass that was a little too weighted there that time by Ruggles to Bennett.
Still first period action here from Milwaukee, and excellent pace to this game so far.
Tacoma's a pacey team. That's one of their strengths, but
Keats at midfield. Laid it off, and Ramon Palmer with the shot blocked. Renault trying to come out of there. Ramon Palmer, veteran out of Park University in the Kansas City area. Remember, he and Roberts were longtime teammates with the Kansas City Comets coming over to Tacoma prior to the start of this season.
Saw Tacoma defender come through and almost took scorekeeper Scotty Fellow's head off.
Scotty got to be alive down there. He's worked so many games, though, I think he's completely unfazed by anything even coming that close.
It knocked his headset off. Is Scotty okay down there?
Well, okay, maybe a little more phased than normal. Here's Minot. Hammers one across. Waltman kicks it out. 2 minutes left to go, first period, and basically it's been Danny Waltman defending against the shooting
gallery.
Yeah, shooting gallery for the Wave, and Waltman has been up to the test so far. Lemos cautiously comes out to the center circle. Now Hain. Andre trying to see if he can work the defender. Couple of moves. McNeely did a good job to stay with him. Came out to Renault. Robert tried to crank through a left footer, and ball stays in play.
Fortunately that time for Evan McNeely, and that was one of the things that hurt Tacoma last night was they cleared too many balls out of bounds in their own defensive zone.
Ferdinand, top of the area, shot, deflects, one! Rebound, follow just wide as Hayden tried to bang it in. Max again coming through. Max sets up in the middle, but he can't make a connection with Hayden. Andre muscles his way past Joey Jurchin in the far corner, gets it back. Milwaukee just relentless possession, but now Waltman will come up with it.
And Hayne was on the doorstep. He had Danny Waltman down and out, but he couldn't hit the target from about 4 feet out.
Wave has to avoid not getting frustrated here. They've certainly had the lion's share of possession and opportunities here in the first quarter. Poked away from behind as McCluskey gave it up, but now the Stars will get it back at midfield as Peterson will play it back to the goalkeeper Waltman. Number 23 is Elaine Matingo. He is another former Kansas City Comet. Came over to the Stars along with the Palmers, who are not related, but basically spent their whole lives together playing amateur and professional soccer together. And at the buzzer, that will do it for the first period. 1-0 Tacoma. Certainly wasn't for a lack of effort by the Milwaukee Wave. No doubt our player of the game from the first period is Danny Waltman, and he's already come up with a couple of great saves thus far. Don't remember.
Please don't.
The middle and a goal. And keep their perfect season alive. It's Renault winning it 4-3 in OT.
And they kept Robert Renault quiet for 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 23 seconds. But that last second, they let Robert Renault go, and he punishes them.
The boards, he's looking at the angle right away. He goes exactly where he knows it's going to go. He's able to intercept it almost every time. It's a bicycle kick, goes in. What an unbelievable goal by Andre Hayne, and it's a tie game.
That's going to be on Sports Center Top 10. That was an absolutely phenomenal strike. You know, he did a bicycle kick in the first game this season. Let's check out the replay now, Patrick. What an absolutely phenomenal finish. Off the chest, one touch, flip, right foot into the corner.
Not a chance there for Paulo as Hayne nets his 4th of the season. Tying this game back up at 2. The ambush were here before, going back to 1.
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
Well, every August, we have our Customer Appreciation Party where we close down the restaurant. Customers are able to sample beer, wine, enjoy live music, desserts, the whole 9 yards.
Arena can provide a turnkey service from tents, tables and chairs, linens.
everybody has a wonderful time, and it's something different out of the ordinary that we're able to do for our customers and for our vendors. They're able to just sit back and relax.
People want more than just a cover for weather. They were able to transform parking lots into amazing event venues.
Arena rental is very easy to work with. I would recommend them to anybody.
For all your construction needs.
Breast cancer. Bid on your favorite Wave players' game-worn autographed jersey at MilwaukeeWaves.com, and proceeds will be donated to Pablo and his family.
1-0 as you take a look at some of the first quarter highlights. And again, Danny Waltman, the goalkeeper of the Comets, with a spectacular first period to keep Milwaukee off the board. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. Art, your perspective on the first quarter.
You said it. Danny Waltman stood on his head and kept the Wave off the board. You said it as well, as the Wave needs to make sure they just don't get frustrated. Keep the forward press going on, if you will. A big key is going to be how Tacoma handles the Wave pressure in their own defensive third of the field.
Wave in the yellow uniforms, they move it right to left as we look at the action. Max Ferdinand with it there. Max turns, drives one in, it deflects off Dennison, shot in the goal. The defender, Chase Hansen, was trying to say, I believe, a handball on Dennison. We'll have to take another look on the replay, but for now, it's a good goal.
If you're playing on a line with Max Ferdinand, you've always got to be looking for him to pass in and around the goal. That time it was a terrific spin move by Ferdinand just inside the yellow line, and he found Dennison at the far post, and Dennison, watch this finish with his stomach, just gently guides it in. Tacoma and Danny Waltman was looking for a handball. Let's take another look. Hard to tell from that angle, but Dennison snuck in behind Chase Hansen at the far post. Hansen got caught ball watching that time.
So Hans Dennison turns on the light for Milwaukee, as you saw in our Wisconsin Vision instant replay. Ferdinand will get the assist, and the Wave has tied it at 1 apiece, 46 seconds into the second period. Dennison gets his first goal, second point of the year, and Max Ferdinand with his 10th assist and 15 points. Max entered the night 7th in the league scoring race. League's leading playmaker from a year ago, and he's among the league leaders again this year.
Wouldn't be surprised if Wave coach Giuliano Oliviero told his troops at the quarter break to get bodies close to Waltman. Trying to beat this guy from long range tonight's going to be tough, but let's get bodies in around the box and see if we can't get some goals from close range. And that time it was number 7, Dennison, finishing off a beautiful look that time by Max Ferdinand.
Now the Wave with pressure able to get the ball back as Matos will play it back to the point. Stuart Grable, third-year indoor veteran, played his high school ball at Neenah High School before going on to UW Green Bay. Leite on the far side. Grable with those trademark powder blue shoes. Wave being patient with this possession. Marcio trying to work against Dan Antoniak. Cranks a shot in, and it's turned away by Waltman, along with some help from the defender, Elaine Mattingo.
Yeah, I think it was Mattingo on the goal line that time that got his head on it, the big Frenchman, number 23.
Danny's had some help from a few of his teammates near the back line as we take one more look at it.
Yes, it was Mattingo right there.
Corner kick coming for the Wave. Marcio comes in with it. Max tried the shot that was blocked. Lemos will reload. Possession time right now, I believe 88% in favor of the Wave.
Both teams played last night, the Wave going to overtime, but Tacoma had a 25-minute delay late in the third quarter when the lights went out at Silverstein Arena.
The nights the light went out at Independence.
And at the time they went out, Tacoma was really had the momentum at that point.
Yeah, that was rather untimely for the Stars.
Very tactical move there by the grounds crew over at Silverstein.
Well, they can't blame Brian Budzinski. He was up in the broadcast booth with Nick Vasos the whole time. So
well, it might have been the Greeks dancing that put those lights out. Nick danced to the Macarena last night.
Oh my goodness.
I wouldn't challenge that guy, Tom, if I were you, to a dance contest.
No, I'll tell you, he can do it all. The Gunga style, Macarena. Nick Vasos is
he
a
couldn't do the
machine.
Macarena. He was dancing. It wasn't the Macarena.
No. But I'm sure in his prime he could do it. As you see Marcio Leite coming to the bench after the shot. Coach Oliviero with a few words for him there. Yeah, what about the Lambada? I bet Nick could probably do that in his prime as well.
He was doing it all last night. Go on to MASL.com and pull that video up.
I think it's safe to say there's no other broadcaster in the MASL can dance like Nick Vasos, that's for sure. And I'd be willing to put him up against probably anybody in professional sports. Takeaway, Renault! Rolls it wide right. Now Hain gets it back. Andre to the corner. Curiel sends it up. Renault, good look, but the shot is blocked.
Once again, the Wave not pulling the trigger first time, electing to settle. Once you settle, you allow Waltman to get his feet and also allows the defense to backtrack.
Well, McCloskey on a run, and he set up Raphael Cox after Limos could not quite gather it in. Boy, Raphael had a great look that time, but he put it up into the stands. So both teams with good opportunities here early in the second period. Again, Tacoma scored the only goal in the first period from Raphael Cox at 56 seconds. Hans Dennison answered early in this period with an assist from Max Ferdinand as foul going to be called. It looks like against the Wave as they try to sort it out.
They got Andre Hain that time.
I guess they're going to say Chino Curiel.
McCluskey went up that time with Hain, and he's looking around. What train did I run into? That was the A train.
Adam Garner, Kyle Trimble, your officials as assigned by the Major Arena Soccer League, working tonight's game. To the middle, McCluskey touches it across. Grable there for the Wave, now Hain with it. That might have been Tacoma's most extended possession we just saw for about 10 seconds. But we're all even at one apiece here. 10:30 left to go, first half. Stars wrapping up this two-game weekend road trip, and they will go home to host Soles de Sonora this upcoming Saturday night from the Showware Center in Kent, Washington. Wave, as we mentioned, will be here against the Ambush next week. Limos drives one in, knocked down. Bennett tried to follow. Now the goalkeeper's got to hustle back for the Wave. As Matingu at midfield battling to get it, and they get around Limos. Good cover back, though, by Dennison. Dennison and Ruggles. Well done by the Wave as their keeper was scrambling to get back in position. Bennett at midfield. Ian shut down last night in St. Louis. Tried to slot one across. I think he might have actually been looking to find Hans Dennison at the post, but it was deflected away.
And Josh Limos, the Wave keeper, catching his breath behind the play. Almost bit off a little more than he could chew that time. He took an extra touch that brought him all the way into the corner. And that extra touch led to a chance the other way that he almost paid for.
And a turning shot and a goal.
And ultimately, he did pay for it right there. Is that Lund?
Philip Lund bags the goal for Tacoma, and the Stars back out on top.
All that energy that Josh Lemos used going the other way didn't have enough energy to come across and make a save that he makes 9 times out of 10.
5:37 the time of the goal for Lund. Phillip gets his 7th goal of the year, looking for his first assist. So all 7 points coming via the goal scoring routes. And the Stars back on top 2-1.
Just never been a big fan of the goalkeeper coming way up into the attacking half of the field and getting involved in that way. Seen it go the other way more than having a lot of success offensively.
So Milwaukee again playing from behind the Stars. Ferdinand tried to look in and see if he could get Tenzin Rampa sneaking into the goal mouth, but no, keeps his own. Robert centering. Ferdinand shot in the goal. What a combination there. And the Wave has tied it at 2-2.
We know Max Ferdinand could do it from the outside with his technical ability. That time, muscling off Evan McNeely, number 20. He won that battle in the middle of the box, and a good ball that time by Renault. Watch again, number 24. Ferdinand right there gave a little push off to McNeely, and I don't think Waltman ever saw it until it was behind him. You want to be a goal scorer in indoor soccer, not only do you need to be able to hit shots from the outside, but you got to get dirty in the box. And that time, Max Ferdinand won the battle against Evan McNeely.
Max gets his 6th of the year. Also picked up his 10th assist on the earlier goal by Dennison. So he's got 16 points on the year, chasing his teammate Ian Bennett for the number 2 spot in the league scoring race. And Robert Renault also right up there among the leaders as well. Robert gets his 8th assist, 17th point. So he is tied with Bennett for first on the team, second in the league scoring-wise.
Greatest goal scorer that ever played this game of indoor soccer, Tom, was Steve Jungle. And Jungle not only could beat you from the outside, but he was a master of winning battles in the box. And that time, Max Ferdinand winning a battle that's not easy to win over Evan McNeely. McNeely, one of the strongest, toughest defenders in the MASL.
Wave on the attack again, going right to left. Just about midway through the second quarter, we are tied at 2. Now Ruggles getting some pressure from McCluskey, and eventually McCluskey gets called for the foul. That's the first on McCluskey as you get a look there at Vince. Pretty obvious call as he's on the arm of Drew Ruggles. Drew coming back from his 1-game suspension with a goal last night in St. Louis. So good to get him back on the field.
You mentioned McCluskey, number 14, Tom. I've been impressed with his work rate. Not the fastest guy, not the most technical guy, but constantly working offensively and defensively.
Lemos again, coming up to his attacking zone. Josh, what you would call a two-way goalkeeper. Santos drives it in just wide.
Or as you like to say, Tom, a pseudo 6th attacker.
Pseudo 6th attacker, absolutely.
Is that pseudo with a P or an S?
I believe it's P.
It is P, isn't it?
Hansen trying to chase this one down for Tacoma. Santos will get there. Jonathan, the Brazilian native, working himself in trouble as he passes out from the goal mouth. And Stars will reload.
Stars had an opportunity to double team that time. Santos found himself in trouble in the corner, but Joey Jertson, number 17, just stayed in the middle of the box.
McNeely looking down for Antoniak. Once upon a time, many years ago, Dan Antoniak was a member of the Milwaukee Wave.
Dizzy, as he's affectionately known.
Yeah. Didn't play all that much with the Wave. Never got along with Coach Tozer too well, as I recall. But he's had an excellent indoor career. As foul's going to be called there as Jertson puts down Santos.
Dan Antoniuk, as you mentioned, played here with the Wave, played for Philadelphia for a short stint.
Sockers for many years.
Big, strong target player, good with his back to the goal. Just a consistent player.
14-year veteran out of Wheaton College in Connecticut. Josh Lemos will look over for Tenzin Rampa at midfield. Got a good one going here tonight. 2-2 with 5.5 to go first half. Lemos again cautiously going into his attacking half of midfield. Josh has an opening. Will he crank one up? He'll move it far side. Good look, but he could not make the connection with Stuart Grable. And once again, he has to retreat. Going back, and we've got our media timeout. 5:10 to go, first half, tied at 2 apiece.
Darren Sawatsky, the Seattle coach, not happy with that official's timeout. He knew that had a tired goalie in Josh Lemos. They got a attacking restart down along the board.
How old are you, Olivia?
His team to go and play.
Turning 11, and do you play soccer?
Yes.
Are you want to give a shout out to your soccer team?
Good job for Wales.
For the Wales, and are these friends of yours?
Yes, I can understand.
Don't forget, Classy Glow Cupcakes. They offer 25 plus flavors each and every day, including cupcakes, jumbo-filled cupcakes, cheesecake cupcakes, and other unique ways to enjoy cupcakes. Cupcake push pops, cupcake witches, cupcake mousse parfaits, cupcake bombs, cupcake truffles. You name it, they got it there. Classy Girl Cupcakes, all about the cupcakes. I know, now you want cupcakes now, right?
Middle and a goal.
Proud partner of the Milwaukee Waves.
Keep their season alive.
They're as organized as they've ever been. A couple of really tough losses from the Waves. He's got him very disciplined defensively. He and Jamie Swanner. Jamie, the former All-Star goalkeeper of the year.
Well,
Mark Litton, the goalkeeper coach.
Yeah, and I like that kid, Paulo, who's goalkeeping for them now. Definitely upgraded as far as goalkeepers go, as far as the ambush. So I think there is some reason for hope for the ambush. No question about that. All right, back to the action. Stars with it, going left to right. Tied up at 2. Tacoma has not trailed so far in this game. In the season opener, when the Wave beat the Stars 6-5 in overtime, Tacoma, Stars had the lead just about the entire game until Milwaukee rallied to take a 5-4 lead. Stars had jumped out to a 4-1 advantage initially. And then when it was 5-4, Tacoma tied it up with a 6th attacker goal on a miracle bicycle kick by Alex Mengson. 5 seconds left to go in the game. Milwaukee won it though on an overtime game winner by this man right here, Max Ferdinand. And really one of the great goals of Max's career as he weaved his way through the Tacoma defense from midfield to score the game winner midway through overtime. Stars changing as Leite gets the possession back for the Wave. And they'll recycle it back to the goalkeeper, Lemos. Rampa and Vega, the defenders from Milwaukee right now. Takeaway by the Stars. That's Joe Carriel with it. Carriel in his third season with the Stars. Played his college soccer at Monterey Peninsula College in California. He's a Livermore, California native. Takeaway by the Wave behind the...
Of course, our non-profit of the game. To get involved with the Hunger Task Force, visit any one of our representatives in the concourse or visit them online.
And so we are just about set to go here from downtown Milwaukee, the UWMP Arena, home of the Milwaukee Wave, as they host the Tacoma Stars. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. You see the Wave huddling there in their electric yellow, neon yellow, and black uniforms. Stars will be dressed in the navy blue with the combination yellow-red Tacoma colors. The legacy colors of the great Tacoma Stars aren't the first time since the Tacoma Stars have been a beam that they've ever played in Milwaukee tonight.
Well, I would be assuming the people up in the Northwest there, the Seattle-Tacoma area, are hoping for a little better result than they saw this afternoon in the MLS final. Their Sounders dropping the championship game to Toronto today, 2-0.
Not only Toronto, but I believe the entire Canadian
Yes.
soccer nation was looking to avenge last year's setback.
Well, I don't know if you saw the two anthems that were played before the game, Tom, but the Canadian anthem, which you know very well, the crowd, the time he got in trouble, he took the extra dribble and went all the way to the end board. If he's going to give you that much space, by all means, go ahead. You got to be decisive. As you said, a little indecisive right now.
Long ball for Antoniak, and he tried to one-time it off the glass, but it's up in the stands. 1:52 left to go. And again, we're looking for another State Farm Insurance save of the game coming up here. I got a feeling the next one that comes up, Art, is probably going to be it. At least for this half. Oh, kept alive by Vega. It just slid under the foot of Bennett. Ian would have been able to just turn against the keeper and take his chances. Rampa loses, takeaway. Carriel walks in, shot, put it off the post. Rebound, follow. Now Antonia gets it back. Carriel another chance. And a kick save by
Delayed
Josh
card
Lemos.
here against the Wave.
Waltman now is moving up from his goalkeeper position with the delayed call. I don't know why Danny won't keep going, as he was looking for a change perhaps, or to get reorganized. But anyway, first penalty of the contest, it'll come against the Wave. Tenzin Rampa's going to go for tripping at 14:04 of the second period. And they are going to award the Stars a shootout, possibly. Kyle Trimble's explaining to...
They're saying penalty kick, and Kyle Trimble has the ball on the dot.
My goodness.
I'd like to see the replay, Tom. I'm not sure that penalty happened or that foul happened inside the box.
But apparently that's going to be the call. You see Coach Oliviero trying to get an further explanation from the officials.
Not sure we have a replay. I'll go back at halftime and pull it up on the website and see if...
I can guarantee...
just call it a free kick is what it is here.
Okay. I was going to say, if it's a penalty kick, I can guarantee you we're going to have our State Farm Insurance save of the game coming up. And the shot save made by Lemos. And then he runs into Rafael Cox. A foul was called after making a nice save on the play by Lund. I think Josh was probably enhancing the contact there a little bit.
You think so?
Just a guess. Well,
I mean, Raphael Cox is only, what, 5'8", 145, something like that?
Yeah, I don't think he legitimately, as we take a look at our Wisconsin Vision instant replay, Raphael is not physically going to be able to displace Josh Lemos. Josh obviously was trying to make a point there.
And now he is going to get the blue card.
As
he drew it against
Carriel took a run at him, and you know, again, the officials probably don't want things to get out of control here. Both teams have policed themselves pretty well here tonight, but again, with a little bit of the action here in the last few moments, that might be a call designed to ward that off. Let's check again.
Well, you saw the left elbow of Kyrell come into Lemos.
So
what was that he had with his hair there, Tom?
Yeah, I noticed that too.
That was impressive.
Well, who's ever doing the work on it, it's impressive. I will say that, whether he does it or not. Only his hairdresser knows for sure.
Referees might have gave him a penalty just because they wanted to get him over by the box to check that out. That was like 4 different colors as well.
On their, coming off their shoes, their shoelaces. But Joe Kyrell has taken it to a new level. And I have to admit, it is very impressive, too.
They might have been some of Darren Sawatsky's old tassels.
Just there's a guy who had some hairstyles back in his playing days, huh?
We used to have the mullets, Tom. That's not a mullet. But that's impressive, whatever that was.
Well, mullets still rule in my book, Art.
You said Kyrell's a California kid, huh? Think you could sport something like that down at the beach?
Monterey Peninsula.
There he is.
College,
Joe Kyrell.
Community College. So, Wave in the last 45 will have the power. Do not convert here. Milwaukee once again with a pretty good power play going.
We're at even strength right now because the Wave's still with a 30 left.
There you go. I was about to tell you, the Wave clicked on 69% so far this year. But as Art said, there's still even strength with Rampa still in the box. So the penalties even up. And now the Stars could have a 2-on-1 and shot and a goal on the counterattack with 0.6 of a second left to go in the period. Wow, huge goal for Tacoma right before the first half buzzer.
And a great little run that time by Ramon Palmer. I didn't know whether he was going to pass or shoot, but he held it up. Found number 4, Troy Peterson, with the supporting run, and Peterson beats Lemos there to the short side. See Lemos come out to cut down the angle. Leite just a little bit late there on his recovery run. Credit Ramon Palmer, though.
So Peterson gets the goal with 0.6 of a second remaining in the half. Ramon Palmer will get the assist. And for Peterson, that is his first goal of the season. And Ramon Palmer, who has had his share of points in the past in this building, mostly with the Kansas City Comets, picks up the assist. And that will do it for the first half as it's 3-2. Stay with us here. We're going to send it down to Van McNeil to talk with Coach Oliviero, I believe. But a stunning end to the first half, Art, after Milwaukee had seemed to have gotten some of the momentum back in this game after tying it up at 2 apiece.
Well, we talked about Tacoma's speed, and they can hurt you on the counterattack. But they did there to end the half, but a good half both ways.
All right, gentlemen, here with head coach of your Milwaukee Wave, Giuliano Oliviero. Your thoughts on the first half here? Definitely an improvement from last night in St. Louis.
No, I thought we played well. We've given up some goals at inopportune times. We gave one up on the first shift of the game and the last shift of the half. Things you don't want to do, but we've created a ton of chances. Their goalkeeper's been red hot, and we got to figure out a way to figure out Waltman in the second half.
Right, Danny has been playing buckets tonight. This last goal here, does that deflate coming into the second half? What are you going to tell the guys?
You know what? Absolutely not. It doesn't deflate us. We've looked good the entire first half. I don't know how many saves he's had this half, but guys have been aggressive in the attack, and we just got to recognize risk versus reward, sending extra players into the attack and giving up transitional opportunities the other way. So clean that up, I think eventually the ball's going to start going in for us.
That's about making those good decisions. We'll let you go back to the locker room. Head coach of your Milwaukee Wave, Giuliano Oliviero. Are you ready for the second half, Wave fans? We got to turn this thing around, am I right? Absolutely. More Wave soccer coming up. And to Miss Doreen Michaels. Doreen.
All right, Van, thank you. And fans, let's welcome to the field the Aspire Dance Team.
Experience Wisco Hotels, a broad selection of quality hotels throughout the state of Wisconsin for the value-minded traveler. Whether you're looking for a hotel in Milwaukee, Madison, Fond du Lac, Appleton, or Oshkosh, Wisco Hotels has you covered with great service, comfort, convenience, outstanding hotel rates, special hotel promotions, and so much more. To book your room or to get more information, visit wiscohotels.com. Wisco Hotel Group, proud partners of your Milwaukee Wave. The Milwaukee Wave presents the State Farm Save of the Game. In the Wave's home opener against Cedar Rapids, goalkeeper Josh Lemos showed no signs of a sophomore slump as he came up big time after Rampage goalie Brett Petrusek came out of the box and attacked to no avail. Lemos had a save percentage of .462 on the night, along with 13 shots against and 7 goals against, and of course he's pumped up. The State Farm Save of the Game, brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. In New Berlin, contact Matt Teresi at 262-427-2227.
You could be my love, even if the sky is falling down. I know that we'll be safe and sound.
So many Americans struggle with finances. Starting today, State Farm is here to help, giving us all the chance to simply sit down and learn. Visit letstarttoday.com or talk to an agent.
We're safe and sound.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
Rappa clears it off the line. Oh. Rappa clears it off the line.
Attacker, so put myself in the right spot, and I've been working on saving balls off the line, so it paid off. Oh, there he goes, the ice.
for all your construction needs.
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
So every August, we have our customer appreciation party where we close down the restaurant. Customers are able to sample beer, wine, enjoy live music, desserts, the whole 9 yards.
Arena can provide a turnkey service from tents, tables and chairs, linens.
Everybody has a wonderful time, and it's something different out of the ordinary that we're able to do for our customers and for our vendors. They're able to just sit back and relax.
People want more than just a cover for weather. They were able to transform parking lots into amazing event venues.
Arena Rental is very easy to work with. I would recommend them to anybody.
Now Renault, good starter step across.
They just have to hold firm.
Cuts to the middle and the Wave keep their perfect season alive. It's Renault winning it 4-3 in OT.
And they kept Robert Renault quiet for 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 23 seconds. But that last second, they let Robert Renault go, and he punishes them.
Now Renault, good starter step at the boards. He's looking at the angle right away. He goes exactly where he knows it's going to go. He's able to intercept it almost every time. It's a bicycle kick, goes in. What an unbelievable goal by Andre Hain, and it's a tie game.
That's going to be on Sports Center Top 10. That was an absolutely phenomenal strike. You know, he did a bicycle kick in the first game this season. Let's check out the replay now, Patrick. What an absolutely phenomenal finish. Off the chest, one touch, flip, right foot into the corner.
Not a chance there for Paulo as Hain nets his 4th of the season. Tying this game back up at 2. The ambush were here before, going back to 1.
Fans are jumping around here at the UWMP Arena in Milwaukee as we get set for the start of the third quarter. The Tacoma Stars leading the Milwaukee Wave 3-2. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. Art, a very spirited first half, capped off by a goal by Troy Peterson with just 0.6 of a second left to go in the first half to give Tacoma the advantage. Evenly distributed, I guess you'd say the goals were. Tacoma scored, the Wave answered until Tacoma scored at the end. But certainly the Wave had the majority play possession as far as just offensive possession during the first half.
Well, we knew it was going to be a close one coming into this. Talked about it in the opening. And for the Wave, you just want to hang in there. They're the team that's 6-0. Tacoma's lost a number of close matches this season. Psychological advantage has to go to the Wave.
Including the Wave defeating the Stars 6-5 in overtime, opening night of the season in Tacoma. That was Jonathan Santos with a shot into the stands. Final score tonight from Syracuse. The Tropics pull away at the end. Florida beats Syracuse 9-4. Very disappointing loss for Tommy Tanner and Silver Knights Nation there. Meanwhile, Cedar Rapids and the Comets playing on the striped field in Cedar Rapids tonight, 1-1, about midway through the first period. You know, they talk about Art, Boise State University, whenever the camera goes to the blue turf, you know it's Boise. You know it's BSU football. Here, where the camera goes to the football line turf, you know it's Cedar Rapids.
Or when it goes to the black turf, you know it's the Milwaukee Wave.
It's the Milwaukee Wave. I'd like to think we share a little more distinction by merits with Boise. Their blue turf, our black turf. I'm not sure Cedar Rapids comes in the same category with their football field.
Well, not hard for the referees to mark off
That's
5
true.
yards on every restart.
Much easier to defend when you have football lines as a reference, that's for sure. The Rampage, still a very good team, very competitive team.
Guess if there's a storyline developing, Tom, it would be that man right there on the ball has been shut out the entire weekend, number 26.
Hard to believe.
6 straight quarters now without scoring a goal.
And it hasn't been for lack of opportunities. Ian he's probably had about 20 unofficial shots combined the last 2 nights, but
They did that to me one year in Canton, Tom. I had gone 6 games, and they were counting quarters. They said 24 quarters Kramer's gone without scoring. I'm like, come on, what do you mean 24 quarters?
Boy, shot by Hansen, and Lemos had to make a good save there in the follow-up. He was able to control. Matos, near wing, sliding. Grable almost made the connection. Renault scoops it up. Matos gets it back, but again, the Stars able to recover defensively.
I was going to say, lucky Grable wasn't hurt that time, sliding into the back wall.
In the middle! Matos put it away on the assist from Max Ferdinand. And Milwaukee has tied it at 3 apiece. And Matos made no mistake on that one.
All 3 of the goals the Milwaukee Wave have scored tonight have been in close against Danny Waltman. That time you saw Matos beat Philip Lund to the spot, or was that Derek Johnson? I believe it was Johnson, right? But all 3 goals have been within 5 feet of the goal line. That's the recipe for success tonight against Waltman. Get in tight into the box, win those individual battles, and that's the 3rd one the Wave has won tonight.
2:47 of the 3rd period as Matos turns on the light on the assist from Ferdinand for Daniel Matos. He has goal number 4 of the season. The former star from the University of West Florida played his first 2 years in this league with Detroit and now in his 2nd campaign with Milwaukee.
The depth of the Milwaukee Wave is what separates them from most teams in the MASL. Ian Bennett, we just talked about, hasn't scored a goal in the entire weekend, but other guys step up. Andre Hain, Daniel Matos, Robert Renaud, Max Ferdinand. The list goes on and on with this team of guys that can put the ball in the back of the net.
Max with his 11th assist. Chino Curiel making the block there on the sliding Phil Lund, I believe that was, with the follow-up shot. He's already got a goal tonight. Now Ruggles plays it ahead for Chino, and that one might have bounced up onto his wrist. He'll get called for the handball. Still early here in the 3rd period, tied at 3. Wave sends 2 guys running at Waltman, and they break the pressure. Here they come. 4 on 3. Mattingo lays it off. They try to center it back. It comes to Rafael Cox for a drive. That one just wide.
Cox should have hit that with the outside of his left foot and got a little bend going back from out to in.
Need to do it like Gino DeFlorio would have struck that ball.
You got to be careful when you pressure Danny Waltman. The Wave needs to take a look back to cut out the passing lanes. So that time that pass forward from Walton led to a 3-on-2. The Wave kind of running blind at Waltman.
Stars working it around. Again, this is probably about their most extensive possession of the night.
Saw it last night against Kansas City. This team can keep possession when they look to do it.
Antoniak works it back out. Peterson launches one into the stands. Updated score from Cedar Rapids. The Rampage has scored again. They lead the Comets 2-1.
Those 2 teams battling for 2nd place.
Yeah, that's a big.
In the Waves division, it's a big one.
That is a big game for sure. Rapids lost their first 3 of the year, but they've stormed back with 3 straight victories. Well, they played the first 3 games of the year on the road, so now at the friendly confines of the football striped field, they're doing well. Hain hesitated a little too much and had it poked away. He got Waltman down, but didn't pull the trigger, and eventually it was cleared out. Marcio ahead to Hans Dennison. He's got a goal tonight. Renaud in the middle. Robert draws the defense, lays it back out to the points, and neither Dennison nor Leite can get it. Meanwhile, counterattack coming for the Stars. This whole weekend, the Wave seems like they've just been a click off as far as working some of their possessions here.
They do look a lot more active tonight than they did last night in St. Louis. St. Louis really drew them into a slow-down game.
Yeah, Tacoma at least is willing to push the pace with the counterattack here a bit tonight. I will have to agree with you there. Vega with a nice play to break it up. Sends it over the top. Renaud chasing with Mattingu to the near corner. And Mattingu puts him down. They play on. Good play by Mattingu. He was able to put Renaud down and not draw the foul. Looked like Lund might have gotten away with a handball at midfield, but they play on as McCluskey has it. Good one here tonight in Milwaukee. Stars could really use the victory. They're 2-4 coming in. And again, coming back for a 3-game homestand, which starts this upcoming Saturday the 16th against Solbase, which will not be an easy game.
Lemos going down hard that time. He actually got undercut by his own defender. But is that Santos that's down?
Yeah, I believe so. Hopefully everybody's okay. McCluskey was in the mix there as well.
McCluskey was asking, what did I do? He just didn't go up was the problem. But you see, wow, Lemos coming down hard.
I'll tell you, Josh, with some pretty good gymnastic ability to get his arms out and prevent his face getting planted into the turf. Santos looks like he's going to be okay as he comes off the sideline. High flying action here at the UWMP Arena. So again, take a look one more time at the Wisconsin Vision instant replay. Just to confirm, the Wave game against the St. Louis Ambush here on December 16th. A week from tonight is a 7:05 kickoff. The schedule magnets say 12:05, but it is a 7:05 kickoff. Wave and the St. Louis Ambush. That should be another tough one for Milwaukee, not to mention St. Louis. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com. MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for each and everything Wave. Whether it's tickets, merchandise, summer camps, you want it, that's the place to go, MilwaukeeWave.com. Grable will roll one in. Waltman had a good look at that and he scoops it up. Don't think Stewart got all that he wanted on that one.
He would have been better served just playing that ball to Bennett along the near boards and let Ian work 1v1.
Some good maneuvering here by Kyrell, and he is dumped on the play. Kyrell, I should say, taken down by Andre Hain. Andre's got his first foul this half.
And see that little shot right there by Andre. Lucky he didn't get 2 minutes.
Very that was lucky. Turning Antoniak save Lemos as he came off his line to turn that one away. Wave coming back the other way, but meanwhile, Ruggles is going to get a penalty behind the play just as Milwaukee had the counterattack with the advantage. Well, not sure what happened there, but it was a decisive call by the official Adam Garner, and Ruggles will go to the box, and Tacoma back on the power play.
Ill-advised penalty there as the Wave had a odd man rush coming the opposite way.
It was behind the play, and again, Milwaukee had it go. So, it will be the power play for the Stars, and it comes at 8:11 of the third period. As Ruggles will go to the box. Not sure what the technical call will be. We'll have to double check on that. Tripping, charging, holding, grabbing, boarding, slamming, assault. Take your choice. He did something to Antoniak behind the play. By the way, once again, we'd like to welcome all those tuning us in tonight here in the Milwaukee area and the Tacoma area, throughout the United States, throughout the North American continent, throughout the planet Earth, throughout the solar system, and not to mention the International Space Station. If anybody's tuned in, we welcome everybody checking us out here tonight. Good game going here with the Wave and the Tacoma Stars. Updated score now from Cedar Rapids. The Rampage 4, Kansas City 1. And the Rampage is rolling at home. Cedar Rapids came into tonight's game with a mark of 3-3. 1-3 on the road, 2-0 at home. The Comets at 2-3, 0-1 on the road. So Milwaukee with the 6-0 mark entering tonight's action with a 3-game lead over Cedar Rapids, 3.5 on the Comets, and 6.5 over the Ambush, who are 0-7. Off the inboard, Wave on a shorthand thrust upfield as Renault tried to play it to Ian Bennett, but the Stars get it back.
I think if the Stars want to compete for an MASL championship.
And a goal there as Tacoma tallies on the power play. Stars came in converting on just 17% on the man advantage, but they get one there, and Milwaukee had killed off 11 of 12 at 92%. So the Wave had been an excellent penalty killing team, but the Stars strike there to regain the lead 4-3. Let's check it out one more time.
My point was going to be, if they want to compete for an MASL championship, the areas that they got to improve on are on the special teams. And right there on the special teams, it was Rafael Cox with his second goal of the game. The lefty finds himself down low and hits it first time to beat Lemos.
So Rafael now with 3 goals on the season.
But you mentioned it, just 17% on the power play prior to that goal. And then last night, defensive restarts was the reason they lost that game. So important part of the game, the special teams, the defending and attacking restarts. They put that together, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
The 5v5, they can match up really with pretty much anybody, it would seem. Lemos, Wave keeper again, pushing it up the offensive zone. Now, top of the area, shot by Chino. And Waltman might have just got a piece of that. Wave reloads, Vega with a shot. That one blocked out high.
Waltman absolutely got a piece of that with the left hand to rob Chino.
Now Drew Ruggles coming out of the box for Milwaukee. Good job by McCluskey to overplay him on the left foot. Drew, of course, left footer, and McCluskey playing away. Chino got it. Chino coming top of the area. Chino comes in, shot off the post. Chino unlucky as he put it off the frame.
He just smoked Philip Lund there, 1v1.
Pass up ahead Peterson, but Lemos reads that one as he comes up to get it. Now Marcio far side. Contested on the far board, but he's still able to hang on to it.
Actually, it was Derek Johnson who he beat one-on-one. Us, Johnson and Lund look a lot, and those numbers 8 and 9 giving me problems tonight.
Ian cranks it up, and a kick saved by Waltman to the middle of the pitch, and a good job by Jurchen to win it initially. Jurchen began his professional career playing in the A-League and then spent some time in the MLS, I believe, with San Jose at one point. Played 36 games in the MLS. He's a pretty accomplished player. In case you missed it, speaking of MLS, final score in the MLS Cup in Toronto, it was Toronto FC 2, the Seattle Sounders nothing. So as Art alluded to when we started the broadcast tonight, our condolences to those Seattle fans who are also follow the Tacoma Stars.
Brian Schmetzer and the Seattle Sounders with defending champs. Tough to repeat, but what a job Brian Schmetzer has done.
Very impressive
with the
Brian.
Seattle Sounders.
Yep, no doubt. Brian, long-time player and coach up in the Seattle area. Now Lemos looks like he might take the shot. He does. Deflected away, sent downfield to the empty net. Oh my goodness, look out. Just wide.
Heard Giuliano Oliviero talk about risk and reward at halftime. That's one of the risks you take when you send your goalie that deep into the attack.
Wow. I think that would have been Matingu who would have bagged the goal right there. That's about as long of a goal as you're going to see in indoor soccer.
You talk about psychological deflation. That would have been extremely deflating for the Wave.
Bennett off the inboard, but Waltman reads it well, picks it off the glass. Santos steps in to knock it away, and he's down, hopefully okay. Boy, Jonathan just now limping off to the near side, throwing his body around as usual out there. Matos, double teamed, tried to slip the pass through. Waltman's going to come out and clear, and eventually down to Lemos. And again, Art, we get in that cycle where the Wave has most of the possession, getting the chances, but having a tough time solving Danny Waltman. Matos coming through, shot to go! Just as we talked about it, his second of the night. We're tied at 4.
Matos with a nice diagonal run into the attacking third. He beat Matingu on that run, and Waltman came off his line, got a piece of it with his leg, but not enough to keep it out. Take another look again. You see Matos, the end portion of that run. He beat Matingo, number 23, the big Frenchman. And then he beat Waltman there to the far side.
So Daniel Matos with a pair of goals here tonight. He's had the last 2 for Milwaukee. He's got 5 on the season. So Ferdinand with the assist there. Max picks up his 3rd helper. He also has a goal. He's figured in all the scoring so far. Meanwhile, the Stars coming back, and a shot in by Peterson almost handcuffed Lemos. I don't think Josh saw that till the last minute. Not much of a strike by Peterson, but it got on Lemos in a hurry, as I don't think he had a good look at that one. Stars will play it back in after it went out of bounds. Again, Milwaukee turns them over. Andre, little wraparound pass for the trailer that was Vega. Cleared away, Wave gets it back. Chino. Oh, great pass. As he worked his way through a couple of defenders to find Andre Hain at the far post. Andre scores, but I believe he might be hurt down there. Might have banged his knee, but a big goal for Andre Hain. Looked like he might have banged his knee against the frame. Let's check it out again on the replay. Yeah, just on the follow through there.
Great little 1v1 that time by Cheeto. He beat both Lund and McCluskey, split the 2 Tacoma forwards, and then found Andre Hain at the back post. But Chino really starting to show some of that 1v1 ability. Just a quick first step. We've seen it 2 or 3 times already this quarter, and that time it paid off as he found the big man Hain at the far post.
Chino in his first year with the Wave after spending last year with Cedar Rapids. Spent some time with Monterey back in the day. The old Monterey Flash. Or I guess you could say the current Monterey Flash. It just sort of resumed action. Monterey's put together a pretty good team. We'll see if we can get the updated score. They're in Harrisburg tonight and tomorrow for back-to-back games.
The Wave finally take the lead in this one.
Marcio lays it off. Ian Bennett. Can Ian get one this weekend? Well, not yet, as Waltman makes a great stop.
2 veterans going at it head-to-head right there. You take a look at the Wisconsin Vision instant replay, and Waltman with the left hand. Just a fantastic save on Ian Bennett.
All right. Corner kick coming for Milwaukee. Trying to get more here late in the 3rd period. Marcio over the top. Max will hit the volley a little bit high. Matos tracks it down. Stars break it out now. Kyrell trying to get past Ruggles. He can't do it. By the way, updated score from Harrisburg. It's 3-1. Monterey leading the Heat. Boy, loose ball around the box, and I believe the Wave is going to get a penalty as Peterson got tripped down in the middle of the box. Peterson or Corey Keats rather, and I think it's going to be a PK coming for Tacoma. This time it will be a PK. Keats was coming across as the ball was ping-ponging around in the penalty area. And I saw that man right there, Kyle Trimble, pull out the card. Ferdinand is going to go. 2 minutes for tripping, and I believe this will be a penalty. Penalty kick, check it out.
Right there, you saw it.
Bodies.
Keats doing a good job of drawing the PK. But the Wave, you see Jonathan Santos, Wave has got to be careful with the way they argue with the officials. I've already seen Drew Ruggles once this year get sent off and suspended for a game. Got to be careful. They're going to make their calls, and you just got to get on with it.
Well, if Josh Lemos stops this one, this will certainly be one of our State Farm Insurance saves of the day. There's no question about that as you get a look at Max Ferdinand. In the box for tripping. Let's see.
It all starts. Oh. Sorry, Tom, go ahead.
Let's see if Lemos can defend the PK. It looks like Joey Jurtson is lined up directly behind it as if he's going to take it. But that still early, could be early speculation. You never know who's going to jump in there. No, it will indeed be Jurtson. By the way, Comets have come back to get a goal in Cedar Rapids. It's now 4-2 Rapids. 12:19 left to go in the first half there.
Oh, and now they're going to be interested to see what they do. That foul definitely was committed inside the penalty area.
They're trying to possibly line up for a shootout. I thought for sure that Kyle Trimble pointed to the spots, and replay would bear it out that there'd be no argument for the Wave on a penalty kick here.
I'll have to check the rule, Tom. They may be ruling that there wasn't a clear goal-scoring opportunity. I'm supposed to know every rule here, Tom. This is one I'm not so sure about.
Still talking things over down there. All right, here comes Kyle Trimble, and let's see.
Now he's going to explain it to every player on the field. Hey, come on, huddle up, boys. Huddle up. Come on in here for a second. Let me tell you, Rule 302-7.
Well, you're not going to fool Kyle or Adam Gardner on the rules, that's for sure. Well, no PK. I'm sure Stars Nation is not impressed.
I'm not sure how the Wave, it gets possession of the ball after a delayed penalty. Aren't you supposed to go back to where that foul originally occurred for the restart?
You got me, Art. All right, Tacoma is still on the power play, but they get no PK. Oh, Ian Bennett, cheeky move there. Ian 1-on-3, drives one in.
I'm not sure they got that one right, because after a delayed penalty, I think the team that is on the power play starts with a restart.
I believe you're right, Art. No complaints on the Wave bench regarding anyone. They were looking at a PK for Tacoma and ended up with the possession, sending it downfield. Stars with one power play goal so far tonight. Rafael Cox with the goal at 8:29 after Drew Ruggles went to the box for Milwaukee. Heck of a game going so far here tonight. This one could be going down the wire. Bennett tees up another shorthanded goal attempt. It's saved by Waltman. All right, here come the Stars. You have both Cox brothers, Jurtson, Lund, and Kyrell, their power play unit. Bennett, along with Grable, Santos, and Leite, the penalty killers for Milwaukee. Wave, as I mentioned, entered the game killing off 92%. They killed off 11 of 12 starting tonight's game. That ends the period. Power play will carry over 42 seconds into the fourth quarter for Tacoma. Stay with us, fans. Should be a good finish here tonight. Wave leads at 5-4.
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
So every August, we have our customer appreciation party where we close down the restaurant. Customers are able to sample beer, wine, enjoy live music, desserts, the whole 9 yards.
Arena can provide a turnkey service from tents, tables and chairs, linens.
Everybody has a wonderful time, and it's something different out of the ordinary that we're able to do for our customers and for our vendors. They're able to just sit back and relax.
People want more than just a cover for weather. They were able to transform parking lots into amazing event venues.
Arena rental is very easy to work with. I would recommend them to anybody.
Experience Wisco Hotels, a broad selection of quality hotels throughout the state of Wisconsin for the value-minded traveler. Whether you're looking for a hotel in Milwaukee, Madison, Fond du Lac, Appleton, or Oshkosh, Wisco Hotels has you covered with great service, comfort, convenience, outstanding hotel rates, special hotel promotions, and so much more. To book your room or to get more information, visit wiscohotels.com. Wisco Hotel Group, proud partners of your Milwaukee Wave.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
Ready for the fourth quarter here in Milwaukee. Wave leading the Tacoma Stars 5-4. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. Art, we anticipated a good match between these two teams tonight, and thus far they have delivered.
Right now, Tacoma still on the power play. The Wave finally edging ahead of the Stars here in the third quarter. A good one. Both goalkeepers have played pretty well. Waltman has been sensational throughout. He's got to have 20-plus saves.
I would think so. Milwaukee, again, has dominated time of possession, but the Stars have been efficient in their opportunities. And I'm sure Tacoma is probably still trying to figure out how in the world it looked like they were going to get a penalty kick near the end of the third period for that tripping penalty of Max Ferdinand. And it turned out Milwaukee got a possession and goalkeeper distribution, although the Stars still are on the power play.
It's been fun watching Coach Darren Sawatsky down on the Tacoma bench.
Here's Marcio, shorthanded, coming right down the middle, ways it off, Bennett! Could not convert! Oh, Ian! He cannot buy a goal this weekend. Boy, I'll tell you, great read by Leite, shorthanded from the quarter kickoff, darting upfield and setting up Ian Bennett. Stars still with the man advantage for another 10 seconds. Good pressure by the Wave up front as Bennett takes it away almost from Joey Jerkson. Now pass across field. Grable slid out to get it. Penalty expires, but Jerkson coming in, sends it across, and a nice play by Santos to break it up. So Milwaukee kills off the power play. Stars still with it. Jerkson, shot in the middle. Santos is there to clear it away. Jonathan, one of the league's top shot blockers, coming in. He's 5th in the league. Pat Healy from Baltimore leads with 14. Santos has 11. Foul call on Max Ferdinand. That's his first in the half. Stars now with some extended possession with even strength between the teams. Mattingo plays it back across. Again, good leg in by Santos to break it up. Stars looking for the tying goal. Mattingo sends one in. Leite to the corner, battling with Rafael Cox. Leite able to turn and clear it out. Well done by Marcio to keep it in play. Just want to get it out of the hot zone there and let Tacoma reset things at midfield. This is almost stunning, the length of possession the Stars have had right now compared to the way the rest of this game goes. But as you said, Art, they are certainly capable of holding it for a long time if they want to.
The Wave, the line they have on the floor right now needs a change. They've been out there for quite some time, just sitting back right now in their own defensive half. And now Max Ferdinand and Ian Bennett are able to get a change along with Marcio Leite.
Yeah, they were all out there for the penalty kill. And so finally, well-deserved breathers for those guys after they killed off the power play. Tacoma now 1 for 2 tonight with the man advantage. Waltman tried to clear the zone. Ruggles is there for the Wave.
Tacoma very fortunate. They didn't give up the shorthanded goal, as you said. Leite found Bennett at the far post, and don't see Ian Bennett miss chances like that very often. The guy is human.
Ian with 14 goals this year, 225 in his 8+ seasons with the Milwaukee Wave, now in his 11th season overall. And like Art Kramer said, we don't see him miss. He's been by the penalty area. Rarely are you going to see him not convert. He's got a good look. Lemos, Josh thinking about cranking it up. He gets tackled. Wave still working it. Trying to lay it back for Renault. Couldn't make the connection. Long ball downfield. And fortunately for the Wave, Lund did not have enough hook on that.
You said it, Tom, fortunate for the Wave, and you've got to assess the situation. You're up 5-4 in the fourth. You got to be careful with taking chances.
Andre turning shot broken up, controlled by Chase Hansen. Back to the goalkeeper, Waltman. Now take away Milwaukee. Chino, Andre, he'll step up with a shot, kick save, Renault with a rebound, shot a goal! R squared does it again, and Milwaukee leads it 6-4.
Just a really poor giveaway that time by Joe Kyrell coming out of his own zone. See the initial shot, and then Robert Renault on the doorstep, beats Kyrell on the rebound and finishes it off. But it was that giveaway by Kyrell that really put his team in a bad situation there coming out of the back.
The hero from last night comes through again tonight for Milwaukee, Robert Renault, who had an earlier assist tonight. He's got his 10th goal of the season.
Got to take care of the ball in between the yellow lines.
Hayne will get the assist as the big guy had the initial shot. Boy, Waltman made a great save to stop Hayne initially. There's a shot by McNeely that is blocked, I believe, by Santos. Boy, Jonathan Santos pumped up on the Wave defensive end tonight, as he usually is. Good to see the energy from Jonathan and the rest of his teammates on these back-to-back games. Again, very impressed with both teams tonight, Art, the pace they're playing at, considering they both played on the road last night.
Tom, we used to play 3 games in 3 days, my man, and you used to travel with us. Come on, man.
Well, you know, that's a generation ago.
And we played 2-line shifts. You're playing 3-line shifts right now. Average it out over 60 minutes. That's 20 minutes of work, Tom, a night. That's 40 minutes for the weekend. They play 90 minutes outdoors.
Well, I'm with you, buddy. We were from that generation that just...
You know the segment on Monday Night Football. Come on, man. Where can you go to get a job? 40 minutes of work over the weekend. But no, let's give them credit for showing a lot of energy tonight. They're all 20 to 30 years old.
10 minutes still to go in this one, and Tacoma still very much in it, but you get the sense momentum-wise they could really use the next goal.
You know I'm just kidding, Tom. It is. Traveling from Kansas City, St. Louis, all through the night, back to your hometown.
Now here's Dennison behind the defense. Oh, getting a call for a handball as he's trying to set up Ian Bennett. Hans, you know, that goal he scored earlier in the game, Art, I still think might have been pretty close to being a handball, so I think he's already got to hit the benefit of the doubt tonight on any.
It's just the way he directed it in, right? With his body, that arm came up a little bit. It's hard to tell.
We never did get the definitive angle to tell, but it was extremely, extremely close.
If that would have gone to replay, if they had it in this league, they would have come back and said that was inconclusive.
Yes, I agree.
Always bothers me when the commentators say it was indisputable. It's inconclusive is the proper terminology in the NFL.
Very disputable, but inconclusive. Look at Marcio streaking from the back, finishes it off! Coast to coast for Marcio! And Milwaukee leads 7-4. Unassisted at 6:03, and Marcio showing the flash from the past with a couple of runs upfield here in the fourth quarter.
I was going to say he's been around for a while, but the guy can still get up and down the field. Saw the Tacoma defender trying to paw at his shoulder, but couldn't slow down number 77. Through the 5-hole. Waltman left it open that time. That play started all the way back by the Wave yellow line. Marcio a little wall pass to himself off the boards, and then went the distance and finished it off through the 5-hole on Waltman.
Fifth goal of the season for Marcio, unassisted at 6:03. He is approaching 150 goals in his Wave career and the equal number of assists. 9th season on the field, 11th season overall, and he has been a very significant player for the Milwaukee Wave during that time.
11 years ago, I picked up that young man at the airport in Chicago. Didn't speak much English at the time, but certainly has made one heck of a career here in Milwaukee.
Shot up in the stands that time by Keats, I believe that was. No, Marcio really has been not only an excellent player for the Wave on the field, but a great ambassador off the field. Clutch player, especially his heroics during the postseason. And just all around has been an outstanding member of the Wave program.
Remember the championship victory in Baltimore. The Wave was tied 4-4. At that time, there was multiple point scoring, but Marcio broke open a 4-4 tie with 2 3-point goals to put the Wave ahead 10-4 in a game they went on to win.
As the man with the ball right now, Max Ferdinand, can well remember when he was playing for the Baltimore Blast. Renault will play it back out, and Matos will send it down to Ruggles. Wave now with a 3-goal lead. They do not have to be in a hurry if they don't want to. Probably will try to use the clock and make the Stars chase a little bit.
And amazingly, Marcio did win the MVP of that game. And who would have thought it? 2 3-pointers to break open a 4-4 tie, and you don't win the MVP. That went to Wave goalkeeper Marcel Feenstra.
Well, Marcel had a great game, but I have to agree with Art that.
Well, he was equally good on the defensive end.
But no doubt, 2 threes in a crunch time championship game. Normally that's going to bode pretty well for MVP selection.
That usually wins it for you.
Ian Bennett try maneuver past a couple of defenders. Stars break it up momentarily, and now Ruggles dragging on McCluskey, but they play out as the Stars keep the possession. The Tacoma Stars, one of the great legacy teams of North American indoor soccer, back since the middle of the 14-15 season. Anybody who's ever followed indoor soccer, Art, I don't think will ever forget that game Game 7 of the Tacoma Dome was at the 87 MISL playoffs against Dallas, I believe. 22,000 fans rocking that dome, which still stands today. It's no longer the home of the Stars, but still very much a part of the Tacoma skyline. Now Bennett cranks one up, shot partially blocked. Chino trying to get it on the side, and Stars clear, but they can't keep the possession.
You take the opponent's MVP leading scorer out of the game, normally you're going to win the game, but just shows the Wave's depth here with Ian Bennett getting shut down the entire weekend, but the Wave on their way to their second consecutive win if they can hold on here.
Well, if the Wave can stay healthy, you've got to like their chances to have a great season. And I just got to believe the Stars, once the schedule turns a bit in their favor, are going to be a factor as well. San Diego probably is the class of the Pacific Division for now, but I got to believe Tacoma is going to give them some competition here before the season's over.
They've got the personnel. Once again, they're going to need to work on their restarts offensively and defensively. Special teams.
Shot that time by Vega was turned away, cleared out of bounds. And I believe we have our media timeout. Updated score from Cedar Rapids now 5-4. Rampage over the Comets, so the Comets have forged their way back into it. And that crowd, the crowd at Cedar Rapids looks like they're getting a bit edgy. Don't forget, Wave back home, right back here at the UWMP Arena a week from tonight. 7:05, again, mark that start time on your calendars, fans, just in case you're looking at a schedule magnet. It's 7:05 game time. The schedule magnets had it listed at noon, but it is 7:05 against the Ambush. I got a feeling, Art, the Ambush is going to bring everything they've got to get a victory. They've lost, well, 21 straight up to this point, 16 in a row to the Wave over the past 5 years. They are not just coming in here to lay down next Saturday night. 7:05, December 16th. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com.
No, they're not going to come in and lay down. And as I said before, Everton's got them as organized as they've ever been. Everton and Pablo, you know, they've been a thorn in the Wave side. We saw it last year with Cedar Rapids. But at the end of the day, they just don't have enough, Tom. They don't. They don't have enough talent to come in here and beat the Milwaukee Wave. And it was going to take everything they got and then some. Just looking over to Tacoma bench, and it looked like Darren Sawatsky, the coach, was signaling 5 minutes is when he wants Waltman to come over for this, pull the sixth attacker.
Well, Danny Waltman has done everything he can tonight to try to help the Stars get a victory.
And they're going to go to it right now.
Stars with the possession, so they figure let's do it right now. And let's see. Troy Peterson at the jersey. Stars going left to right here in the fourth. Still plenty of time. If they score a goal quickly, you might see Waltman jump back in the nets for Tacoma on the Waves kickoff.
Jonathan Santos, very fortunate he didn't get 2 minutes right there. You heard the hard whistle that time by the referee.
Jonathan always plays on edge. That's just the way he is. Most of the time it works for his team's benefit, but occasionally it does not.
I learned a long time ago, Tom, you got to pick and choose your battles. Not only in life, but in the game of soccer.
And just like, oh! Thought for sure that Phil London scored, just missed on the play there. I thought that was back of the net and then back out. Wave fortunate that the Stars did not score on that possession. Empty net to the left as we face it. Tacoma still working the possession.
I think we're going to see Ian Bennett get off the schneid here this weekend and get an empty netter.
He could use a feel-good goal. There's a shot blocked by Santos, and immediately they come over to check it. You saw Phil Lund from the Stars immediately come over, and now some of the other players from both sides. Boy, you could hear that one up here, Arts. He took that one right in the kisser, I believe. Jonathan trying to shake it off. Boy, how about that Jonathan Santos, huh? Well, hopefully that's an indication he's okay. I'll tell you, not too many guys could shrug off
down there like he was knocked out, but we know that he's not knocked out.
The Mercurial Jonathan Santos. Well, I'm sure we'll re-rack and get a Wisconsin Vision instant replay on that one. You can hear it all the way up here, Art. So, Tacoma still with it as they look to try to dig into this 3-goal deficit. That shot high, McNeely with the rebound. Rafael Cox sends it top of the area. Drive in, Lemos makes the save. Nice stop by Lemos as he stopped the bid by Joey Jurchen. Bennett for the empty net! You called it, Art Kramer. Ian Bennett is off the schneid this weekend. His 15th of the season. And Milwaukee leads it 8-4. Wave now on a 5-goal run since the Stars had a 4-3 lead midway through the third period.
There he is, number 26. Just a matter of time before that guy finds the back of the net. Got to be a bit of a relief to Ian to bag one. It's not often he goes more than a half of soccer without scoring a goal.
His 240th in his 8+ seasons with the Milwaukee Wave. That's 30 goals a season. Well, he'd be up to 270 if he finished off this season with another 30. Pretty impressive, Art, especially when you talk in the days, the 20, 22, 24 game schedule. Stars with a bid to pull one back as they stay with Peterson as the 6th attacker. Tacoma, valiant effort tonight. Looks like they're going to come up a little short. Grable with a chance at the empty net. Peterson hustling back to get it, and now Rafael Cox will settle.
Peterson did well to win that foot race against Bennett. He had a 5-yard head start,
but Ian was right on his tail. I'll tell you, Ian definitely feeling it, looking for another empty netter, but that one's not going to draw in.
He's talking about picking and choose your battles, Tom. There's been a lot of chirping with the referees after the play. The rule book clearly states you're not allowed to surround the guys after calls. I'd like to see these guys start putting guys in the box a little sooner. Take that part of it out of the game.
Again, the Wave here next Saturday, the 16th, 7:05 against the St. Louis Ambush. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. That's 414-224-9283. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com. Stars go back to the ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington, open up a 3-game homestand by hosting Soles de Sonera. Here's Lemos trying to throw one length of the field. You know, we talked about Josh scoring the goal last night with his foot. He's the first Wave keeper to score since Nick Vorberg threw one in during the 04-05 season. Now Ruggles takes away, but a nice sliding effort that time by Jameel Cox to break up what would have been a walk-in goal for the Wave. Jamil fires one off the frame. Oh, he had it measured. Put it wide right, and now followed by Peterson up in the stands. So 7-0. 8-0 is the Waves' all-time record for best start to a season. That was back in 05-06. They'll try to tie
7-0 with St. Louis up next at home. Is that correct?
With the ambush rolling in on Saturday.
And then who do they got after the ambush?
Back at Kansas City on December 22nd. Either one of those teams would delight in giving Milwaukee a loss. By the way, Waltman has been put back in the goal, as really no point, I guess, to the sixth attacker anymore for Tacoma. 1 minute left to go, and the Stars chasing a 4-goal deficit. Well, another impressive effort by the Wave tonight. Could have been frustrated early the way Waltman was playing, but they hung with their art, and they eventually are going to prevail here in tonight's contest. Leite lays it off. Renault's shot in, deflection. They get it back. Bennett again. Ian just blasting away, trying to get another goal.
Good save by Waltman on Bennett at the near post. But you heard Giuliano Oliviero say at halftime when Van McNeil asked him the question if that goal was going to be deflating, that goal with 0.8 left in the half. He said absolutely not. And this team really does take on the personality of their coach. Giuliano, a very calm, cool, collected guy. And the Wave has shown that here under Giuliano.
Well, Tacoma's going to call off the Stars, if you will, and this will do it. Crowd on its feet cheering the Milwaukee Wave as they start the season 7-0. Final score here tonight, Wave 8, Tacoma Stars 4, and now we get ready for the postgame. Wave has played 3 games so far this season here, Art. 3-0, and they've scored a total of 30 goals, yielded 18 during that time. Evan McNeely, the former Wave player, shaking hands with Wave assistant coach Marcello Fontana, and the rest of the guys in the handshake line there. Of course, Evan was teammates with several of these guys going back a few years ago. But
it's going to be the best 2 and 5 team you're going to see, the Tacoma Stars.
I would have to say so at this stage. And Milwaukee sweeps the season series 2-0. First time we played the Stars since their return to indoor soccer. But I got a feeling, Art, that especially second half of the season, that is going to be an extremely difficult team to face.
Well, they'll get
for the rest of their opponents. So I'm kind of glad that we're done with them.
They'll get Alex Megson back. Hopefully Robert Palmer, the veteran defender that came over from Kansas City. That groin injury that he suffered last night's not too bad. They've got a lot of experience. They got a lot of team speed. They got a lot of pace. They're going to have to do some work on the restarts and power plays. Man down. But they do have the ability to be one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah, and they've still got a goalkeeper who can do it in crunch time as well. So that's always a key part of the equation, whether you're talking hockey or indoor soccer. You got to have that netminder, and the Wave certainly has one in Josh Lemos. They are just about ready to start the second half in Cedar Rapids. 5-4, Rampage leading the Comets. Other scores tonight, a final in Syracuse. Florida Tropics broke open a tight game. In fact, 4-4 at one point, ended up winning 9-4. And you've got one other game going on in Monterey between the Harrisburg Heat and Monterey. Last we heard that was a 3-1 Monterey lead in the first half. And let's send it down to Van McNeil.
Here with the Professional Construction Incorporated hardest working player of the game, hardest working player of the weekend. Give it up for number 99, Andre Hain. What do you got to say about tonight's game? Tacoma Stars, they're a tough team. We took them out the first game of the season. They're an all-new team, aren't they?
No, they're pretty good. It was a great contender. But we did our homework. We won in our house. That's all that we did to do, take care of the business here. and I just keep rolling. That's it.
Now you've been on a roll, speaking of keeping this thing rolling. You had tonight's game winner, the game-winning goal tonight. We'll take a look at the replay of tonight's game-winning goal. We see it right here. Boom, ball into the back of the net. And then last night, this is gonna be on SportsCenter. Tonight or tomorrow is one of the top 10 plays of the weekend. We take you over to St. Louis. Tenzin Rampa to Josh Lemos. Lemos over to Andre, and the bicycle kick heard around the world. Talk about that bicycle kick. You had an amazing look there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit lucky, but I've been trying to have that a couple games already. The fans always asking me to try to keep going, and eventually it came. It was unbelievable, and I'm going to be in the SportsCenter now, so I'm very happy. And but most of all, just keep winning. That's just what I want to do. Like, if I can get a goal or just put my body over there and defend the ball, doesn't matter as long as we keep going and get the championship. That's our goal. That's everybody's goal, this club, and that's it.
Right, the individual accolades are nice, but the end goal, it's not even being undefeated. 7-0 is great, but our eyes are on the championship.
Exactly. I mean, hopefully we don't get any loss in the regular season playoffs, go all the way through, but if eventually get one, our prize is in the ring, get the championship no matter how it is. We're going to have a lot of tough battles along the way, but what matters is get the W, get the championship.
An amazing weekend for number 99 of your Milwaukee Wave. Give it up for Andre Hain, your Professional Construction Incorporated hardest working player of the game. Thank you, Andre. Good stuff. Absolutely. Join us next Saturday as the Wave take on the St. Louis Ambush. Get tickets and more information at MilwaukeeWave.com. Let's go Wave.